Spooky season is coming to XDefiant and I'm so hyped. Let's go. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and if you can't tell, Halloween is one of my favorite times of year. Not only because I have an excuse to hoard a bunch of candy that never gets handed out to kids, because around here, it's apparently the devil's holiday or something, and parents don't let their kids go trick-or-treating, and I get to eat it the next day, and for weeks to come. But also because of things like in-game events, dating all the way back to Club Penguin. And yes, I know I'm dating myself. Halloween events have captivated me with super cool things that they can do, from cosmetics to game modes and more. And Ubisoft never disappoints when it comes to Halloween. Before we talk about XDefiant, I want to show you some quick gameplay from another game I love, Rainbow Six Siege. This game is ultimately what got me back into gaming after Halo 4's massive disappointment, and they do spooky time right. What you're watching now is a 3-week limited time game mode called Doctor's Curse. And it's basically just hide and seek with cool abilities to make it even more fun. And this year is looking like it's going to be the most fun that it's ever been, because they cut out all of the bugs and glitches that gave people free and easy wins. But enough about Rainbow Six Siege. Let's get back to the game that you all came here for, XDefiant. Yesterday was the XDebrief, and while the entire first half of it was slightly disappointing because my speculations were correct, the new map coming tomorrow is Air and Space, meaning we'll have to wait a whole extra month for a new linear map. It's sad times. But this new map comes from the Division franchise, and it honestly looks amazing. Already, just from the footage they showed off, I can see tons and tons of turret spots that you're going to need to know if you want easy kills, so stay tuned for that video. In addition to the new map, there's going to be a new in-game event called Stellar Strike, where you're going to be able to earn free skins, free XP boosters, and more, all just by playing the new playlist and completing Ubisoft Connect challenges, which I'm assuming the new playlist is just going to be the new map. And if you needed even more temptation to hop back on, it's double XP weekend. So you know I'll be grinding out these secondary weapons and pistols, all for that camo grind. However, it was at about this point in the XDebrief that I was ready to riot. They were talking in-game events and not mentioning Halloween at all. But I was a little premature in my rage, because immediately after I started thinking about having to make a very mean tweet, they showed this.
Keep an eye out later this month for a Halloween event as spooky season comes to XDefiant.
So let's break this final image down. The two skins on either side are skins we've already gotten in the game, and I'm pretty sure I have both of them. The Echelon skin does look new, but it's still a little disappointing that they're showcasing reused skins for the Halloween event that's supposed to be coming, which I'm hoping is more than just cosmetics. If we take a look at the backdrop, that sort of looks like a church. And where have we seen a church in XDefiant lore before? Oh yeah. That was the beginning of the Highwayman faction reveal trailer from a month ago, and before it got partially obliterated, you can see that the cross and the bell at the top of that church is identical to this one. So what does this mean exactly? Well, I'm not entirely sure, but if I had to take a guess, I'd say it probably means that if, and this is a big if, we get a Halloween game mode or map, it'll likely be on Waterfront. But what could they possibly have in store if they have a game mode lined up for Halloween? Leave your guesses down below in the comments. So all of that sounds awesome, and something else they covered in the debrief was the community questions, and there were only 3, but 2 of them are pretty hot topics. Let's start with the least rage-inducing one. Gifting cosmetics and stuff in XDefiant will be coming for PC, but no word on when. Huge W, as you can already gift stuff on consoles like Xbox. You can give out X coins, bundles, whatever you can find on the Microsoft Store. But on PC, it's currently not possible to gift something directly from the game or from the Ubisoft Connect store. The second thing is input controversy. More specifically, controller versus mouse and keyboard. An age-old debate, and I'm so tired of people complaining about one or the other having just an advantage or being way better than the other. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. For example, a mouse and keyboard, you have near infinite amount of inputs at your fingertips, both on a keyboard and a mouse with a bunch of buttons. Versus controller, you have a limited number of buttons that they can fit on a controller. There are games like Rainbow Six Siege, for example, where you can do things on mouse and keyboard that you just can't on controller. And actually, one of the biggest things in recent memory was being able to lean left or right without having to aim down sights. For 9 years it was like this. You could do this on mouse and keyboard, but you could never do that on controller when playing on a console. But after 9 years, they finally made it possible. Another example, on mouse and keyboard, you have your whole arm and wrist to aim, and you can get very precise aim as an average player. On a controller, you have limited motion of a stick and its input, giving you less precise aim. So above average controller players are on par with average mouse and keyboard players when it comes to that aspect. People have been crying about aim assist and it needing to be taken away for years now. They do the same thing in Apex, but no one ever stops to think about why aim assist exists in the first place. In literally every other game besides XDefiant and partially Apex, mouse and keyboard has ruled the scene of competitive gaming. For years it's been this way, and now, finally, controller starts to make a run for that title and all the PC elitists get butthurt because they can't handle it? How about instead of complaining, just use a controller if it's so good then? If you're so good at gaming, you should be able to adapt. What I don't think these clueless people realize when it comes to aim assist is that it has its own set of drawbacks. It's gotten me killed more times than I can count because I'll be in the process of shooting someone, say 15 feet away, and then someone else who clearly is playing without a headset and doesn't have eyes runs right by me and my aim assist gets dragged with that person. And guess what? I end up getting shot and killed from the first person I was shooting to begin with. Overall, I just can't stand the hypocrisy. People did the same thing when they nerfed movement in this game. Oh, they nerfed movement because kids can't just get good and they keep crying about it. Ironic how they never look inward. Who's really crying? Okay, rant over. But one last thing that was weird because it was in the title of that XDebrief, but never actually mentioned in the XDebrief was the smoke grenade. Well, it was in the title, but they aren't slick and I refuse to be gaslit. They may have taken it out of the title, but at the time of recording this video, they forgot about taking it out of the description. So are we getting a smoke grenade this week or not? Are we getting a smoke grenade this season? It was supposed to come at the launch of the season, but was apparently causing some issues, so it was replaced with a skin in the battle pass. Looks like we might need to start that riot after all. But let me know down in the comments, do you even want smoke grenades? How do you think this will change the meta outside of bomb? Then one final thing I wanted to discuss is private matches. We got zero info from the XDebrief on this topic. However, at the time of recording this video, this motherfucker, you see the trolling I have to deal with? Anyway, if you go in game and open your chat box and type in the command /PM new, it will open this private match lobby UI. I'm unsure if this works on console, but I know it works on PC right now. Now, you can't do anything else at the moment with this other than going over to the side and clicking here to invite people to the custom match, but they first have to be in your party to be able to invite them to the custom match, which doesn't make sense. And then once in your party, you can then invite them to the private lobby, although sending that invite never gets to them. There are commands like /PM start that look like it'll start the lobby, but can't because no one is in the lobby, not even yourself. And I know these are correct commands because if you type a command that isn't a real command, you get this error. So I thought maybe it just needs a host to start the private match. So I tried /join. Seems to be a command, but sadly does not work either. So hopefully we get more info on private matches whenever we get more info on the Halloween event, which, by the way, early leaks are starting to say that it's going to be a 3v3 game mode, but take that with a grain of salt because I still have yet to see this 2v2v2 game mode that everyone was talking about a week before season 2 launch. But that's all I wanted to talk about today, and don't forget I'll be sitting down for an interview with Purple Haze over on her channel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope to see you there, and I'll catch you all in the next upload.